John 8:36 will begin there today. If the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. Have you ever sat and watched a game of pickup basketball? Or maybe you play basketball and you've played a game of pickup basketball. And I want you just to imagine two half-court games going on within the same court. On one end of the court, it's just like a free-for-all. You might guess the game was basketball, but you can't really be sure. It looked like maybe a combination of football, rugby, wrestling. No rules, no regulations, no whistles, no fouls. And from the looks of it, no fun either. On the other end of the court, though, a smooth, sharp game was in progress. These guys were real players. They handled the ball like you couldn't believe. They knew what was a foul, and sometimes even called a foul on themselves. With the talent and the discipline that they exhibited on that side of the court, these guys were going somewhere. And above the rim kind of excitement is above the rim kind of a game that was actually fun to watch and fun to play. Maybe you've experienced this yourself. If you were a basketball player, the second game, the second side of the court that I talked about, that's the game you'd want to be in. The game with no rules and the game with no skills would only be frustrating. It only frustrates you to death. But at the other end of the court, you could shine. The game with no rules would inhibit your freedom to excel. But the discipline game would allow you all the freedom that you need to play well. This goes not just on the basketball court, but everywhere. Every part of life. The truest freedom that you and I can experience is a freedom that most closely conforms with the God-breathed, God-designed nature that He has instilled within us. He knows best how we are to function, and His parameters give us a freedom to really live. Take church, for instance, the institution that God set up as His means for the Spirit to work in the lives of His children, built on the New Testament church. Most young people want to take part in the ministry at this church, this part of the ministry, and go to another church for this ministry because they like that, and yet another ministry at another church across town, and they end up with a scrambled mess. Yet God sets up the rules even for the church, that you would be loyal to your local body. Attending multiple churches for multiple ministries only inhibits or prevents you from excelling, causing you simply to compare. And there's no perfect church out there, but when you discipline yourself and you stay the course, it is only in discipline that we both enjoy life and truly grow and excel at everything that we put our mind to, and everything we have in front of us, every gift that we have, God expands that. The only way for me to enjoy playing the guitar was along the way to be disciplined to really learn the guitar. Prior to that, it was frustrating. The only way for me to enjoy sports was to play by the rules. And there are a few out there on the court or on the field that don't play by the rules, and the game loses its enjoyment. The only way for us to grow in the Lord is to stay disciplined in our personal time with God, to stay disciplined in our church attendance, to our single local body, and staying involved with godly friends and in serving God. John 8 goes on. Actually, before the verse that I had read for you, this is what it says. Jesus said, If you hold to my teachings, you are really my disciples. Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Very truly, I tell you, everyone who sins is a slave to sin. Now, a slave has no permanent place in the family, but a son belongs to it forever. So if the Son, Jesus, sets you free, you will be free indeed. Wouldn't it be way better to live in that freedom? Let's be disciplined to do just that.